What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show, KO Bets. Before we begin, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, greatly appreciate it. You'll get notified every time I go live. We do a show Mondays, we do the recap show, today, where we just go over the weekend. I have an NFL show on Sundays, and then typically Fridays leading up to the fights, Friday evening after the weigh-ins, and all the parades, we submit our picks. So my name is Bill. There's no way to really beat around the bush. We had very entertaining fight card in Costa versus Vittori on Saturday. Went 8-4-1 on the money line picks, which honestly just isn't good enough. It really isn't. So we'll go through all the fights here, and then we'll get into some other stuff. So in the first fight, took the prospect in Lashivili. Really liked him to potentially score takedowns. You could see he was 0-for-6. Jonathan Martinez, great takedown defense, kept the fight standing on the feet, won a decision. So it was a nice win for Jonathan Martinez. He's now 4-3 in the UFC, and hadn't really seen Lashivili before this. So I guess I just kind of was riding off the odds and how other people perceived him as a grappler when making the decision I did in choosing Lashivi. Didn't nominate any sort of prop bet. Probably advised you to just stay away from it, but this one I was way off on. So holy cow, Ronda Marcos just absolutely came with intense pressure, and was able to win a decision. I took Lavina Souza. The takedowns, yeah, they were nice, but ultimately just didn't do enough with them. This one, I'm a little disappointed I didn't go in a little bit more on Jeff Molina and the next fighter even. Jai Herbert. Felt pretty good about both of them, but, Daniel Lacerda, obviously super dangerous, but just kind of faded quickly. I think now all 13 of his professional fights have ended inside the distance, which is, it's just an interesting trend to follow. You can, if he doesn't have a gas tank and he can't make it to a decision, you might as well just kind of bet on some sort of finish whenever he's involved in a fight. He made his debut. Now Molina's 2-0 in the UFC. Really tough fighter. Good fighter. We had Jai Herbert scoring the round 1 TKO. Ultimately just, we thought that Jai Herbert was coming into this just way more technical on the feet. Well, we said he was probably more technical on the feet. Both fighters had an affinity towards finishes. Now Jai Herbert, 9 out of 11 of his wins come via knockout. For Karma Worthy, only 4 out of 25 of his fights have reached the distance. So, we liked the prospect of the fight not going the distance. That was minus 360. And then, Jai Herbert, or whoever you liked to potentially score a knockout. Then Jamie Pickett, he surprised me. He really did. He had a nice win. So we've seen it from him now. Took Star Poli. He was coming off of a 3-fight losing streak, so now he's on a 4-fight losing streak. But he's 2-4 in the UFC, and now Jamie Pickett's 1-2. Gets his first victory in the UFC. We did like a little bit the decision, but, I liked it for Staropoli. Oh, in the next fight, we took Tabitha Ritchie. She gets the 3-round decision. Really high output in this, and ultimately just the takedown ability serves to be the distance, if I'm recalling the fight correctly. Tabitha, we gave her, she got KO'd by Fiorot in her UFC debut. Mannion Fiorot, we saw her fight, I think, last weekend. She's pretty good. Possibly elite as a striker. I thought she was throwing maybe too many patterned combinations where, if she's in there against an opponent who's focused, mentally not exhausted, it could potentially lead to, you can find those patterns and predict what's coming. So, good win for Tabitha Ritchie. Now 1-1 in the UFC. Really good fight from her. And threw some decent volume standing up too. But just really kind of attacked the takedowns. Mason Jones against David Onama. So Mason Jones and Grant Dawson, the two biggest favorites. They just kind of, so Mason Jones is now 1-1 in the UFC with 1 no contest. We knew he's a well-rounded Brazilian jiu-jitsu artist. We expected to see the takedowns. Definitely thought I would see some sort of submission attempt, something like that, but I didn't think the fight would go the distance. David Onama was another counterpart to this fight. He was 10-1-0 with 1 no contest heading into the UFC. This was his debut. All of his wins came inside the distance, so I was just, I was really expecting this fight not to go 3 rounds. So good win for Mason Jones, definitely needed it. Should try and get those finishes. We took Gregory Rodriguez, so we won that. He's 2-0 in the UFC now. Scored the round 2 KO. We threw out the KO or decision as a possibility for Rodriguez. Wasn't sure how Jung Young Park was going to take the shots, or was he going to be able to score his takedowns? And clearly not. So, great win for Gregory Rodriguez. Jung Young Park is now 3-2 in the UFC. And Gregory Rodriguez, he's 2-0. We had Nikolai against Isaac Villanueva, and we took Nikolai. Definitely was leaning more towards a submission style. I don't know. It just surprised me that the fight ended fairly quickly, and was definitely anticipating Nikolai getting the fight to the mat and I don't know, maybe getting a submission, but just really exploiting that difference, because Isaac Villanueva, he's a decent striker, and he's all he tries to do is knock out his opponent, it seems like. So just thought the safer game plan would be for Nikolai to go in there and try and get takedowns. In the next fight, we took Francisco Trinaldo against Dwight Grant. Lucked out with the split decision. We've been pretty good when it comes to split decisions. This year we've gotten, pretty lucky, and it's better to be lucky than good sometimes. So took Francisco Trinaldo. Like the Trinaldo decision plus 180. Now Dwight Grant is 3-3 in the UFC. I mean, he threw a lot of strikes, but none of them were hitting. So, you know, I guess better output, but not really, in my opinion. Alex Caceres scores the submission against Sung Woo Chu. Honestly, perfect game plan to like get the submission. Definitely thought Sung Woo Chu was going to be, the more aggressive and better striker in this fight. I thought his boxing would be a problem for Caceres. So, really good fight from Alex Caceres. Definitely underestimated him in this one. I like the Choi KO or decision on points, but then we had 1 second. False alarm, false alarm. I don't know. I hear like the door open and then someone's like, "Who is that?" All curious, and I don't know. My adrenaline gets going a little bit, and I gotta get up and see what's going on. So in the next fight, we have Jessica Rose Clark against Joslin Edwards. Jessica Rose Clark gets the round 3 decision. We definitely, said she needs to wrestle. She needs to get it down to the ground. Thought Joslin might hold an advantage on the feet as a more technical striker, but really good fight from Jessica Rose Clark. Good game plan. Didn't nominate any sort of prop bet, but really nice fight out of her. Then we had the biggest favorite on the card. And yeah, it was a draw. So, Grant Dawson, he probably should have tried to get a little more aggressive with the takedowns, but what are you going to do? And then in the main card, we didn't nominate any sort of prop bet in that last fight. Just really liked Grant Dawson. He was 5-0 heading into the fight, 8-fight win streak. Thought he would be a really good wrestler. So, just be able to take down Ricky Glenn, fairly easily. So, then we had the main event, Paulo Costa against Marvin Vittori. Vittori takes home the unanimous decision. Crazy output in this match, really good fight. Both fighters took some big shots. Didn't nominate any sort of prop bet, but we liked Marvin Vittori. Just the whole lead up into the fight with Paulo Costa, it just was a little unprofessional. He just didn't seem. I don't know. It just seemed like Vittori was going to go out there and take this one. Paulo Costa, though, and Vittori, it was a great fight. I wouldn't mind seeing it again down the road sometime. Really, really good fight. So 8-4-1. Next weekend we've got some really exciting fights. Let's see what's going on. Let's go to the home page here. Oh yeah, it's Blachowicz against Teixeira. I think... Yeah, okay. Peter Yan... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Jeez. Holy cow. Dang, there's a lot of fighters. And there's only one... Is there only one girl fight? Hmm. Let's go ahead and update our UFC spreadsheet. So we said we were 8-4-1, so that brings us to 103 wins. 43 losses, 6 draws. Total fights, we had 14 this weekend. 139 plus 14. 153. But I think I gotta do 152 because it was a no contest, right? Oh no, I do 153, and then when I add it to eligible, I just gotta subtract that. Oh wait, I think it does it automatically. Yeah, it does it automatically. So I got this thing rigged up. Every vote against my fighter is 2 votes for my fighter. You get what I'm saying? I got this. Check this thing out. Let me do. I think this one I can share it with. Yeah, so you can see it here. So 153 total fights. 100. Just subtracting the 6 no contests and draws. So out of an eligible 147 fights, we've got 103 in the win column. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. So hopefully we can have a better weekend next weekend. This week, it just wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. So tonight, first of all, my Bears got destroyed yesterday. But, you know, I think we could beat the 49ers next week. It was a tough game. Going down to Tampa, that was a tough game. I think we can beat the 49ers next week, so you know, I'm hopeful we're back at 500 after next week. If that's possible. I don't know if that's possible actually. We might be 2 games below 500. But the Bulls, we're 3-0. And tonight we got the Raptors. I did place a small bet on the Bulls because DraftKings gave me free money to bet on the Bulls. So let's see. I took them on the money line. So just for $10. I'm hearing stuff outside the door. I gotta go. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video. I'll be on Friday, probably around Let's do it. It'll be a late one. I'll be on like after 8 o'clock Friday. If it's early, it won't be early. I promise. Have a good week, everyone.